大家好，今天是2025年6月的下半月，我们来看一下最近全球人工智能的5则新闻速报。
With Grok, especially with Grok 3.5 that is about to be released, it's trying to reason from first principles, so apply kind of the tools of physics to thinking. If you're trying to get to fundamental truths, you boil things down to the axiomatic elements that are most likely to be correct, and then you reason up from there, and then you can test your conclusions against those axiomatic elements. And in physics, if you violate conservation of energy or momentum, then you're either going to get a Nobel Prize or you're wrong, and you're certainly wrong, basically. So that's really the focus of Grok 3.5 is sort of fundamentals of physics and applying physics tools across all lines of reasoning, and to aspire to truth with minimal error. Like there's always going to be some mistakes that are made, but we aim to get to truth with acknowledged error, but minimize that error over time. And I think that's actually extremely important for AI safety. So I've thought for a long time about AI safety, and my ultimate conclusion is the old maxim that honesty is the best policy. It really is for safety. But I do want to emphasize, we have and will make mistakes, but we aspire to correct them very quickly. And we are very much looking forward to feedback from the developer community to say, like, what do you need? Where are we wrong? How can we make it better? And to have Grok be something that the developer community is very excited to use, and where they can feel that their feedback is being heard, and Grok is improving and serving their need.
Yeah, no, it's in some sense, cracking the physics of intelligence is perhaps the real goal for us to be able to use AI at scale. And so it's so good to, take that first principles approach that you and your team are taking. And also you're deploying this. I mean, one of the things about sort of what you do is you're doing, unsupervised FSD on one side, you're doing robotics. Of course, there's Grok. So you're deploying Grok across all of your businesses from SpaceX to Tesla, obviously at X. I would love to even, one of the themes for this developer conference, Elon, is we're building pretty sophisticated AI apps, right? It's not even about any one model. It's about orchestrating multiple models, multiple agents. Just anything that you're seeing in the real world application side, even inside of your own companies, when you think about even a Tesla or a SpaceX, where you put Grok and the other AI models you're building?
Yeah, it's incredibly important for an AI model to be grounded in reality. Reality, I was saying, which is like physics is the law and everything else is a recommendation. Which is, I'm not suggesting people break the laws made by humans. We should generally obey the laws of humans, but I've seen many people break human-made laws, but I have not seen anyone break the laws of physics. So for any given AI, grounding it against reality, and reality, for example, as you mentioned, with the car, it needs to drive safely and correctly. The humanoid robot Optimus needs to perform the task that it's being asked to perform. These are things that are very, very helpful for ensuring that the model is truthful and accurate, because it has to adhere to the laws of physics. So I think that's actually maybe somewhat overlooked, or at least not talked about enough, is that to really be intelligent, it's got to make predictions that are in line with reality, in other words, physics. It's a really fundamental thing, and being able to ground that with cars and robots is very important. We are seeing Grok be very helpful in things like customer service, and the AI is infinitely patient and friendly, and you can yell at it, and it's still going to be very nice. So
that's good.
Yeah, and so I think in terms of improving the quality of customer service and sort of issue resolution, AI is already Grok is already doing quite a good job of that at SpaceX and Tesla, and we look forward to offering that to other companies.
No, that's fantastic. Really thrilled to get this journey started, getting that developer feedback, and then looking forward to even how they deploy. There's these language models. There's, I think over time we will have this coming together of language models with vision.
处理器 CPU 是计算机的核心组成部分，它就像大脑一样，指挥各个部件的运行。今天，我国自主研发的新一代国产通用处理器龙芯3C6000在北京发布。
最新发布的龙芯3C6000采用我国自主设计的指令系统龙架构，无需依赖任何国外授权技术，是我国自主研发、自主可控的新一代通用处理器，可满足通算、制算、存储、工控、工作站等多场景的计算需求。目前，3C6000系列处理器已获安全可靠测评公告，当前最高等级2级认证，可确保关键领域应用安全。
3C6000它的性能相当于23年或者24年市场主流产品的水平，是一个土生土长的 CPU， 它没有任何境外技术授权，也不依赖任何境外的供应链完全是依赖境内的供应链，而且完全是自己从指令系统到各种 IP 核都是自己研发出来的 CPU。
此次发布的还有龙芯 2K3000、3B6000处理器，同样采用自主指令系统龙架构。该处理器主要面向智能终端和工控应用，为人工智能等领域应用提供了底层技术支撑。在龙架构生态成果展示区，基于龙芯处理器的通用算力服务器、存储及工业服务器等全场景产品矩阵也集中亮相。
在性能完全够用的前提下，具有性价比优势，这标志着我们的 CPU 从龙芯自己角度来说，可以走向开放市场竞争了。所以我觉得这对我们，不管是对我们国家信息产业，还是对龙芯来说，就是面临的一个新的转折点。
特别可惜的真实病例，一位45岁的病人去年4月份因为肚子不舒服去查这个胃镜，结果查出来是晚期胃癌。但翻看他23年10月因为其他病做了 CT 片子，让 AI 看了一下 ，AI 提示里面其实已经有了早期胃癌了。也就是说，要是当时用了 AI 自动检测，它就能够提前半年确诊和治疗，那么活下来的机会就会大得多。达摩院这项技术最动人的地方是它不需要额外的检查，比如你因为其他的问题需要做一次这个平扫 CT，AI 就会自动帮你分析这个胃部的情况，就像给你的体检报告加了一个 AI 保镖。其实这并非达摩院在癌症筛查领域的首次突破。2023年，他们率先攻克了胰腺癌筛查，不仅登上了《自然医学》杂志，还被美国 FDA 认定为突破性医疗器械。如今从胰腺到胃 ，AI 正在验证一个更宏大的可能，用一张平扫 CT 筛查多种癌症。这种一扫多查的模式，成本仅有传统专项筛查的1/15，却能够覆盖这个胰腺癌、胃癌、肝癌等高发癌种。
Meta thinks of us as their biggest competitor, and I think it is rational for them to keep trying. Their current AI efforts have not worked as well as they've hoped, and I respect being aggressive and continuing to try new things. And again, given that I think this is rational, I expect that if this one doesn't work out, they'll keep trying new ones after that. I remember once hearing Zuck talk about how, Google in the early days of Facebook, it was rational for them to try social, even though it was clear to people at Facebook that was not going to work. And I feel a little bit similar here, but they started making these giant offers to, a lot of people on our team, $100 million signing bonuses, more than that comp per year.
It's crazy.
And it is crazy. I'm really happy that at least so far, none of our best people have decided to take them up on that. I think that people sort of look at the two paths and say, all right, OpenAI's got a really good shot, a much better shot at actually delivering on superintelligence, and also may eventually be the more valuable company. But I think the strategy of a ton of upfront guaranteed comp, and that being the reason you tell someone to join, really the degree to which they're focusing on that and not the work and not the mission, I don't think that's going to set up a great culture. And I hope that we can be the best place in the world to do this kind of research. I think we built a really special culture for it. And I think that we're set up such that if we succeed at that, and a lot of people on our research team believe we will, or we have a good chance at it, then everybody will do great financially. And I think it's incentive aligned with mission first, and then economic rewards and everything else flowing from that. So I think that's good. There's many things I respect about Meta as a company, but I don't think they're a company that's great at innovation.
今天我们关注 OpenAI 对办公市场的强势突袭， 以及这场变革对微软、谷歌等巨头的冲击。近日有媒体爆料 ，OpenAI 已经秘密筹划1年，将在 ChatGPT 中推出2大办公功能：文档协作和即时通讯。业界认为，这一举措不仅直面挑战微软 Office， 更要争夺谷歌 Workspace 的地盘。据悉，未来我们很可能在 ChatGPT 内实现像谷歌 Docs 一样的多人实时编辑，甚至像微软 Teams 一样的团队沟通，而无需切换不同平台。这一战略意图十分明确。OpenAI 要把 ChatGPT 打造成超级智能的个人及企业工作入口。OpenAI 不仅在 AI 助手和编程助手业务上和微软直接竞争，更在办公领域逐步扩展影响力。数据显示，目前已经有300万企业用户在使用 ChatGPT， 企业订阅业务增长迅猛。一些知名大企业如 Moderna 与 T 减谋标等都已入驻。OpenAI 预计到2030年，该业务年收入将达到150亿美元。与此同时，微软大力推广自家 Copilot AI 助手，但市场反馈却不如预期。部分大型客户甚至已从 Copilot 转向 ChatGPT。许多企业乃至微软内部员工都更青睐灵活、快速迭代的 ChatGPT。价格方面也是激烈竞争的战场。虽然 Copilot 的单用户价格较低，但 ChatGPT 企业版通过灵活的用量计费模式迅速拉近了差距，并以产品体验和创新吸引了用户。目前企业市场出现双轨并行局面，比如纽约人寿、贝恩公司等为员工同时部署了 ChatGPT 和 Copilot， 是具体办公需求灵活选择。专家认为，尽管微软凭借庞大的客户基础和产品集成优势，短期内不会失手，但 OpenAI 的创新步伐和市场渗透能力已不可忽视。简单总结 ，OpenAI 与微软、谷歌的竞争已全面升级，企业级 AI 办公新格局正在加速形成，我们拭目以待。